me like what Pythagorean theorem is based on that video. Like what does it tell us? Yes, Andres.
I can find the third part of the right side triangle. The
Okay.
hypotenuse.
Okay, so it's how you can find a side of the triangle. Good. That is one of the purposes of Pythagorean theorem. But so we're gonna go ahead and write what like the key relationship is for Pythagorean theorem. So what Pythagorean theorem is it is the relationship. Actually, I might have this. Sorry. Okay, it describes the relationship between the lengths of the legs and the hypotenuse for any right triangle. So this is just what the Pythagorean theorem is. So just go ahead and write down this so that you know if you were to be asked what is Pythagorean theorem, this is exactly what it is. So kind of what Andres was saying, you can find one of the missing legs or hypotenuse for any right triangle. Very good. Now, a key word here is a right triangle. So, in the video, it said you can only use it for right triangles. That's very important. So this equation is only going to work for right triangles. Now, in order to know how to use Pythagorean theorem, we first have to make sure we know how to identify the legs and the hypotenuse for a right triangle. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so the first step we need to know is we need to know what the parts of a right triangle are. So go ahead and let's draw a right triangle on our paper. Now, a right triangle, who can tell me what makes a right triangle a right triangle?
The right angle.
The what? Good, a 90-degree angle, which is a right angle. So we have a 90-degree angle, and how we show it in where the 90-degree angle is we show a little box. Now, the legs of the triangle are the base and the height, so they form the right angle. So these are the legs, because they form the right angle. Now, how we can identify the hypotenuse. Does anyone know how we can identify the hypotenuse? Okay, Destiny?
A squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Okay, so if we needed to actually find it using an equation, we'd use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But how can we identify which part it is on the right triangle?
Label it A and B.
Okay, so we're going to label it A and B. Portia?
It's the opposite from the right.
Very good. It's opposite from the right angle. So what we're going to do is we are going to draw a line coming from the right angle across, and that is going to be our hypotenuse. So you draw a line straight from the right angle across, and that gives us our hypotenuse. Now, for our formula, I heard some people talking about the formula. That's what Destiny was talking about. Now, we said the formula was a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, what a and b are the legs of the triangle. Does it matter which one we choose for a and which one we choose for b?
No.
Why wouldn't it matter? Maybe you could raise your hand and tell me why it wouldn't matter. Okay, Destiny?
Because you add them anyway. It doesn't matter which side you're
Good, because you're just going to be adding these and you're going to be squaring them, so it doesn't really matter which one is A and which one's B. This one could be A, this one could be B, this one could be A, this one could be B. It does, however, matter what C is, because that C is our hypotenuse. So C is our hypotenuse, and we need to make sure that we identify the right one for C. Now, one more thing about the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the longest side. So it's the longest side of a right triangle. If we think about it, if we're adding these two together to get C, we know that's going to be the longest side. So our hypotenuse is our longest side. Now, we said that the Pythagorean theorem only works for what kind of triangles? Right. It only works for right. So, let's say that we are given, so I've given you the formula, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, if we're given 3 measurements, so we're given 3 sides of a triangle, okay? Let's say we're given 3, 5, and 4. Those are the 3 dimensions on a right triangle, okay? Now, we can use Pythagorean theorem, we can use this formula to determine if it is a right angle, because it'll only work for for a right triangle. So, what we can do is we have 3, 5, and 4. Now, how do we know what the legs are and what the hypotenuse is?
It's the longest side.
Okay, so the hypotenuse is the longest side. So what is our hypotenuse? 5. So that's going to be our C. Now, does it matter if we choose which one we choose for A and B?
No.
No. So let's just choose A as 3 and B as 4. Now, to determine if this is a right triangle, we can plug it in this formula. Now, so we have A squared, let's go ahead and write A squared, plus B squared equals C squared. So we're going to go ahead and write the formula. Now we're going to fill in what we know. A is 3, so we're going to put 3 squared, plus B is 4, so we'll put 4 squared, equals C, which is 5 squared. Now, what does this mean right here? What does this sign mean right here? Equals. Okay, so that's an equal sign. It means equal. Okay? So, what that means is this side of the equation needs to equal this one. So, when we solve this and we solve this side, it should give us the same value because we have an equal sign. Okay? So, let's go ahead and see if these two give us the same answer as this one. So, what's 3 squared? 9. 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is 25. Okay, now we still have to finish solving this side. What's 9 plus 16? 25 equals 25. Is that a true statement? Do those equal each other?
Yes.
Does 25 equal 25?
Yes.
Because we said this is an equal sign, okay? So that means that these two sides should be equal. Is 25 the same as 25?
Yes.
Yes. So that means that those are equal values. So, is this a right triangle?
Yes.
Yes, because Pythagorean theorem, when we plugged in the sides, it gave us a true value. So, it'll be easy to determine whether a triangle is a right triangle. We'll be looking for missing sides starting on Monday. Okay, but let's go ahead and try one more as a class before we have an opportunity to practice with a partner in a little activity we're going to do. Any questions before we do one more example? Okay. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take a look at these sides. Let's say we have 7, 20, and 15. Okay? We're going to see if this is a right triangle. Now, what do we have to do first? What do we have to do first? You can raise your hand and tell me. Let's do it. Okay, we have to write down the formula. Okay, and so how do we know which one to plug in the formula? What do we need to identify first? Identify the largest number, which is going to be our C value. So 20 represents our C, which is called the what? Hypotenuse. Good. Okay, so this is the hypotenuse. Now, we can just choose A and B, it doesn't matter. Okay. So, if we're going to plug it in the equation, 7 squared plus 15 squared equals 20 squared. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and solve this, okay? Go ahead and solve it. What you're going to do, 7 squared first, 15 squared, and then 20 squared. Then we're going to finish solving the equation to see if it gives you an equal one on each side. I like how I see people getting right to work. Very good.
Yes.
So how could you figure out what 15 squared is? Okay, multiply. What would you multiply? Okay, good.